Hello, everybody. Eric here with some comic books. It's been a while. This is the first time I've been to the comic shop in 2024. So I've got a lot of stuff to go over, lots and lots of stuff. Um, had to wait for my tax return to go and pick everything up. So we're going to jump right in. This is, I don't think in any particular order. Um, so I didn't make sure I didn't go through week by week, but let's jump. I have a bunch of collected editions in a bag over here. We're going to jump in. We're going to start with the floppies. And we have Timeless from Marvel. Really nice cover. And it opens up into a very long, I'm not going to, long picture. The back cover folds out as well. There you go. This is their annual book that Marvel puts out that sort of sets the tone for what the upcoming year is going to be, sets a lot of plot points into motion, and now I know that I'm at least a year behind in reading my comics because I have not read last year's issue of Timeless. So that's how far behind I am. One of these days, I keep saying it, one of these days, I'm going to crack down and read some comics. But let's move on to Ghost Lore from Boom Studios, number 7, written by Cullen Bunn. Again, haven't read any of this yet. And then we have a brand new book, but a continuation of a book. This is Vengeance of Moon Knight, number 1. So the last storyline in the regular Moon Knight book was the death of Moon Knight, and then so they could go into a new number 1. But I believe it's the same creative team, so it should be the same high quality. That's from Marvel, of course. This is The Midnight Show, number 4 from Dark Horse Comics, another one written by Cullen Bunn. Haven't read it yet. But this is a cursed, I don't know if it's a cursed movie, but a bunch of movie monsters come out into the real world. My kind of thing. And then we have Blade, issue 7 from Marvel, The Hulk Slayer. I don't know. But again, another book. I have not read a single issue. I hear it's pretty good. This is a big stack. There's a lot of stuff. Earth Divers, 1776 Part 4. This is issue 14. I've read the first storyline, which was 1 through 7 or 8. I've read the first part or two of the sort of Ice Age little side story. Haven't gotten into the 1776 yet. But it's by Stephen Graham Jones. So you know it's good. Another Cullen Bunn. This is Invasive number 2 from Oni Press. Again, written by Cullen Bunn. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but it's an issue 2. If I haven't read stuff that's issue 7 or 8, I haven't read issue 2 or issue 1 of Invasive. But always enjoy Cullen Bunn's work. Then we have, is this the last issue? Maybe. Looks like it. This is the Enfield Gang Massacre from Image Comics. This is number 6. I love that this is printed like it's old newspaper. Really a quality product. Haven't read any of it yet. I'm just going to put that on a loop. Haven't read any of it yet. Creep Show, Volume 2, Issue 5. Terror anthology, horror anthology, 2 stories in each issue. I read all of the first volume. Haven't read any of the second volume yet. Now this one, of course I haven't read it yet because it's in issue 1. This is John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America, issue 1 from DC Comics. It is Black Label. Even if it wasn't, I would have picked it up because it's Constantine. I really dig that cover. Um, and it looks like, is that Sandman? It says Sandman Universe. Don't know if that's supposed to be Morpheus up there, but someday I'll dig into this one. Then we have A Legacy of Violence, number, what is that, a 9 from Mad Cave. Another one written by Cullen Bunn. Another one I have not read anything of yet, but it seems like it's going to be pretty good. Cullen Bunn and all that horror stuff. This pile's getting low. Then we're going to get to the big stuff. Marvel Voices Legends, number 1, but they're all basically one-shots. That's Luke Cage, in case you couldn't tell. This is an anthology. Not sure what usually there's some sort of theme, whether it's African Americans, Native Americans, LGBTQ+. So I'm not sure what this one is necessarily, but it looks like it has a Deathlock story. I'm a huge, huge fan of Deathlock. So there's that. And then something DC puts out once a year. This is DC Power 2024. This is the LGBTQ+ anthology that they put out every year. It's, square bound. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories. It doesn't tell me who is in them in the table of contents here. A bunch of different writers, different artists. Got some interesting people on the cover. But there you go. Maybe this one isn't LGBTQ. Or maybe it is. I don't know, it looks like it could be people of color. Oh, it's right there on the cover. Celebrating Black Excellence across the DCU. I noticed this wasn't a complete rainbow. That's what threw me off. But they usually do an annual LGBTQ, but this one is celebrating Black Excellence. So there we go. I should have looked at these before I started this video. And then this one is new, either this week or last week. DC's How to Lose a Guy Gardner in 10 Days. And this is their annual spring/Valentine's special, square bound. They do these quarterly. There's always a winter, holiday, Christmassy one, a spring Valentine's one, a summer fun one, and then a Halloween one, of course, my favorite. So again, an anthology. See, this does, in the table of contents, tells me who features in each story. Guy Gardner, Red Tornado, Booster Gold, The Flash, Constantine. I'm going to say it differently every time. Plastic Man, Wonder Woman, and Nightwing and Batgirl. So, should be fun. Then we have Ghost Lore number 8 for Boob Studios, written by Cullen Bunn. Another one I have not read yet, but I trust Cullen. I have complete faith in his writing. And then finally, the last of the floppies. This is Nightfall double feature number 4 from Vault Comics, featuring the Cemeterians and Denizen. But that's kind of a cool creature feature monster cover. And another one that I have not read. I can't remember if this is quarterly or bi-monthly. But there you go. That's the floppies. Now, we got a lot to dig into here. Let's start with this one. This is Darth Vader Black, White, and Red from Marvel Treasury Edition. So it's a big, oversized. I get all the black, white, and red Marvel stuff oversized in the Treasury Edition. And it's just an anthology of Darth Vader stories that are all in just black, white, and red. Different artists, different writers. Good stuff. Hopefully. Let's put it there. All right. Let's go with this one. I know this came out a little while ago. This is The Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 2. Great Responsibility. And this has Amazing Spider-Man 18 through 38 and Annual number 2. Just, I love having this old classic stuff to read. Just thrills my black little heart. And then let's go with this one. This is Doctor Strange Epic Collection Volume 2, I, Dormammu. And this has Strange Tales 147 through 168, Doctor Strange 169 through 179, Avengers 61, and material from Not Brand Ech number 13. So this is a case where Strange Tales ended, the last issue was 168, and they just changed the title to Doctor Strange with 169. Again, classic Doctor Strange stuff. Ooh, looks like some Gene Colan art. And I'm just such a huge fan of Doctor Strange. Here's a back cover. Now, I know there's at least one more Epic Collection in here. Oh, it's right there. We'll grab that one. This is West Coast Avengers Epic Collection Volume 2, Lost in Space-Time. And this has West Coast Avengers 8 through 24, and Annual number 1, and Avengers Annual number 15. There's the back cover. We got Moon Knight on there. Very exciting. It was a fun book. You know, the sort of the B team of the Avengers on the West Coast. That might or might not be it for the Epic Collections. I don't recall. But we'll grab this. There's no pictures for this one. This is Kolchak the Night Stalker, Dead Reckoning by Eric Fine from Moonstone Books. And it's I don't know if it'd be a novel or a novella. I don't know the word count. But it's the latest Kolchak the Night Stalker prose story. And then, here we have Red Sonja, Black, White, Red, Volume 2. Nice little hardback. Much like the Darth Vader, just an anthology. Collecting stories that are just all in black and white and red. And this has issues 5 through 8 of the miniseries. Red Sonja, Black, White, Red. Always a showcase for some really cool art in those books. All right, now I'm going to start taking plastic off. Even though I don't have my ring light on, trying to avoid any glare. I'm just going to throw that in there. This is Where the Body Was by Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips from Image Comics. This is I believe it's just a one-shot graphic novel. I don't think it's collected. But I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it always. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, one of the greatest teams in comic books. I love everything they've done together. And then, everything else, until we get to the very bottom, is in plastic. So I'm going to take the plastic off. This one does have a shiny cover anyway. This is Batman Gotham After Midnight, the deluxe edition. This is stuff written by Steve Niles, art by Kelly Jones. Steve Niles, of course, best known for 30 Days of Night. And this collects, let's see, the entire limited series with original foreword by John Carpenter, a brand new introduction by Steve Niles, the author's original series outline and script for issue 1, and behind-the-scenes art by Kelly Jones, plus a tale from Batman the Brave and the Bold number 4, illustrated by Jones, and written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. So I don't know, this was probably a 12-issue miniseries. Yep, it said, I just saw it said of 12. But I love Steve Niles' writing. Kelly Jones is a crazy, wild artist. Does just some crazy stuff. And so I'm very excited for this Batman book. Now we're getting into it. These last two things. Oh, what should I save? Let's save that one for last. We'll do this one. Let me take the plastic off. Slicing it with my thumbnail. Does that mean my thumbnail's too long? So these last two things are what I'm most excited about. If I were the type to be giddy, this would make me giddy. This is The Question Omnibus, Volume 2. There's the back cover. I believe this completes the collection of the question stuff that I want. This has, well, tell me what it has. This volume collects The Question 28 through 36, The Question Annual number 2, it's very small writing, Green Arrow Annual number 2 and 3, plus additional tales from The Question Quarterly 1 through 5, The Brave and the Bold 1 through 6, The Question Returns number 1, Showcase 95 number 3, and Azrael Plus number 1. So after issue 36 of The Question, it went quarterly for 5 issues, but he also crossed over with Green Arrow and Batman a couple of times. I think those first crossovers are in the first volume, but this is the Dennis O'Neil, Dennis Cowan run, one of my favorite books of all time, and I'm very, very happy to have this again, because I sold off my entire collection and didn't have these anymore, but now I've got one of my favorites. And then, oh, a little piece of my childhood returned. Marvel has been, the question's from DC. I don't know if I mentioned that. I haven't been mentioning publishers, I don't think. Back in the day, Marvel had a lot of properties that they did comics for, and other comic book companies have those properties now. So I didn't know if these books were ever going to be reprinted, but apparently Marvel has made deals with all the proper people. This is the first of 3 titles that I'm incredibly excited to have, and this is ROM, the original Marvel Years Omnibus Volume 1, or as I like to call it, Romnibus. There's the back, and this has ROM 1 through 29 and Power Man and Iron Fist number 73. I believe I've already ordered the second volume of this. And for those who care, the other things I'm excited about is Micronauts coming out in an omnibus and Marvel's Godzilla. I'm so excited for that one. Marvel did a run of Godzilla comics. But ROM, this has me so... I want to drop everything and just read this right now, but I shan't. So there you go. And then, finally, we have... This is last month's previews. They didn't have any of the Marvel or DC left over for me because I didn't go in at the end of December and pick these up. But I can look up the Marvel online. I should be able to look up the DC online as well, but I do have the catalog for everything else. And then the Marvel, the DC, and the big giant previews catalog that came out last week, I believe. So there you have it. Holy moly. That is everything I picked up this week. It goes all the way back to the beginning of January. Thank you to the U.S. government for sending me my tax return finally. All right, I do not have a question for this week, except the usual. Does any of this catch your eye? Which ongoing titles would interest you? Which collected editions might be of interest to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, if you're going to yell at me because I'm a year behind in reading my comics and I'm still getting more, feel free to yell at me for that. I mean, it'll hurt my feelings, but yeah, comments below. You know how it works. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And if you're on Blue Sky, I am @EL Smith. That is all I have for you. This time, hopefully, I'm not going to fall behind like this again, and I can get back to doing these weekly. We'll see. I'm not making any promises, but until next time, read more comic books.